Good morning, everyone. Welcome to OCD Clarity. My name is Luc, and today I want to talk about hyperawareness, also known as sensorimotor OCD, somatic OCD. And this is a theme. It was my main theme for like 3 years straight. And I think, I don't know for sure, that there isn't any other people who was more scared of, is more scared of their bodily sensation than I was when I suffered very deeply with this a few years ago. I went through hell with this. I was so scared, so panicked. And I thought for many years I couldn't get better of this type of OCD. And everybody with OCD thinks their team is the worst. But it started back in the beginning of 2019, and it was my first chronic latch, and that was sensorimotor OCD, hyperawareness. And in an instant, in one flash, it latched to my breathing. And from that point on, I couldn't stop thinking about my breathing. So every inhale and exhale, I was feeling like I was the feeling. And every time, so every 5 seconds, I don't know, when you breathe in, I got a surge of anxiety. And when I breathe out, I got a surge of anxiety. Constant in panic, because you can't run away from your breathing. So that was really bad. And it's like you are the feeling. You are so immersed in feeling the hyperawareness, and you can't break free of it, of the feeling. And you are so distracted from the normal world because you're so hyper aware of your bodily sensations that you think you can't enjoy anything for the rest of your life, because you're 100% panicked. You are constantly trying to figure it out. And other things, yeah, you can't do them with pleasure anymore. And I was someone who didn't feel pleasure for years. Maybe a happy feeling once every 2 to 3 months for 1 second. That's really bad. So when you look into this hyper awareness, it can latch to all different kind of things. Blinking, for instance, I had it as a minor thing. Saliva had it also. So where you're constantly focusing on your saliva, or you're scared of feeling your saliva. But with me, because I was so concentrating on my saliva and I couldn't stop it because you're so scared of it, I was producing extra saliva. So I was constantly, it was like there was a shower in my mouth. So I was constantly swallowing my extra saliva and I couldn't stop it. And I was really scared of it because it's annoying when you're talking, that you're talking with a lot of moisture in your mouth. So, but it also can be on heartbeat, blinking, I already said it. But also, I think all the automatic bodily sensation. I was constantly checking if I had a ring in my ear because I had it really bad because of the anxiety. Bladder function. This was a thing I really struggled with. I constantly was internally checking if I needed to go to the bathroom. And because of this, I was peeing like 20 times a day, and a lot. I don't know why, how it's working, but it's very strange. And when I was traveling, then it was because you can't um, directly get to a bathroom. It was more severe. So every 10 minutes I needed to go to the toilet. So yeah, that is, but also certain feelings or strange feelings that you're constantly feeling your hand or one toe, or strange feeling in your leg. No health OCD, but really hyper aware of different parts of your body. So, and now I can laugh, but it is because it is so strange. But then I only could cry. So, um, and also looking to the point of your nose the whole time. So there are more, but just to give you an example. And when I take, for instance, my breathing OCD, so it developed overnight. I got it, and I was. You need to see for yourself. So it was constant, always. The only time I didn't felt my breathing and was scared of it was when I was sleeping. But I was I wasn't sleeping much. So I was in 100% panic, 100% anxiety for a very long time. So I tried everything to find someone or something that could help me. First it was alcohol, then it was smoking again. Then I quit alcohol every day, but still drinking, but one or twice a week. Stopped smoking again within 2 months because it doesn't work. I was trying to distract me with these substances, but when you wake up the next morning, you still have the hyper awareness of the breathing, saliva, or blinking. So the first few months were really bad, really bad, and I thought I couldn't live for much longer with this. It was really bad. So I started my search to get better of this, and I was constantly pushing away the feelings, constantly pushing away the thoughts about my breathing. I was constantly ruminating about the subject, how to get better, trying to find a solution. But there is no solution to figure out. So I went into therapy. I saw a lot of therapists. And when I explained what I was fearing of, and I mean literally, nobody understand what I was saying. And that was feeling I was so hopeless. I went to the people that learned to get people like me better, and they didn't have a clue. So I said, I'm constantly fixated about my breathing. And they said, but look, everybody breathes, it's normal. Yeah, but I can't stop thinking about it. And they were literally asking, look, what are you saying? Because what's the problem? So that was a dead end. And I was really hopeless, 100% hopeless. I stopped doing things, couldn't enjoy anything for years. And I was trying to find things online, people who recovered from this. And it is the honest story. I couldn't find anyone who could explain me how to get better from this. I only saw stories about people complaining about their hyper awareness, talking about that it was a little bit better, but still was having panic attacks constantly, just as I had, and that it was a terrible thing. And I couldn't find any help. I found a few videos of someone who recovered because he now believed in God, and God cured his sensorimotor OCD. And I'm not saying that Christianity is bad or something, but I couldn't find a guide or something that I could read, or someone who could explain me step by step what the problem was. So it took me years and years and years and years. And there are people stuck for 10, 20 plus years with what type of team of OCD. So what the problem with this is that I get a lot of questions because I made a video about this, and I got a lot of questions about the sensory motor stuff because I know a lot of it. Is that people are asking the same question over and over again: how can I stop noticing my blinking, my breathing, my saliva, my swallowing? But that's part of the problem. So you need to see that you have this hyper awareness because you're scared of something. And you need to look into what is the thing I'm really the most scared about. So for me it was noticing my breath for the rest of my entire life. And when I thought about that thing, I was having a panic attack. And when we look a little bit deeper into that thing, I had a belief that noticing my breath, noticing my saliva was one of the worst things that could happen to me. And that is the main fear. That two components. And next to that, are you doing the compulsion within this is trying to push away the feelings, trying to push away the thoughts, trying to not feel the feelings. But you can't not feel your own breath because it will be there the rest of your life, just like you're blinking. You're blinking the rest of your life. And that was the thing that I was most scared about. So the first thing is to just see what is the thing I'm most scared about. But mostly it is around this kind of beliefs or thoughts. And then next is to see, okay, what are the things I'm avoiding doing? So for instance, going to the gym, going to sport, because I'm too scared of feeling my heart races or feeling my that I need to take in more air because I'm exercising. And first you need that thing get in order. Get back to work, back to the gym, back to doing things, even if you don't like them at this point in time. I went on, I think, 15 or 20 holidays where I had zero motivation to go there. But I and was really depressed because when you are on holiday or trying to do something nice, OCD will be more present because it knows that you want OCD rid, and then it grips. But you need to do this. Back to work, back to exercising, back to normal life, back doing the normal things, normal. And then working on acceptance that maybe you don't recover from this type of OCD, and that's very important. And becoming less scared of your fear, your main fears. So just for me was like, if you download my OCD Clarity action plan, it's a guide for you to get better. And a part of this is knowing your fears, compulsions, but also seeing and looking into someone else, their lives. Because when you experience sensorimotor OCD, anxiety, that is really not comfortable, but you can still do everything, everything that someone who doesn't have anxiety or sensorimotor OCD. So you can go on holidays, you can go to the gym, you can go seeing friends, you can go to family, you can build a business, even if you are 100% anxious and constantly having panic attacks. I've lived that life for many years. And seeing, and if you read my OCD Clarity Action Plan, and really seeing different people, their lives, who have it much more severe than you. So people who have some kind of cancers, who don't have long to live anymore. They don't have a future, long future. People who are bedbound, can't get out of bed. They can't go to the gym. They can't go easily on a holiday. People who are blind and deaf. It's not about comparing, but seeing that, okay, my life is bad, but theirs, do I want to switch with them? And in a lot of cases, you can come to the conclusion that you don't want to switch or change with them or take their place, because that's much more severe. But what you see is that when you see those people, and in the OCD Clarity action plan are different links to seeing different videos about people, their lives, that they aren't anxious of their situation, but we are, because OCD is a severe anxiety-based disorder. So when you look into your fear, when you stop doing compulsions, when you're working at acceptance, so acceptance and commitment therapy is a very good one for this. But also there's another link of CBT that is you really need to study, stoicism. And next to that, don't avoid anything. So don't avoid your feelings, certain situations, certain places, certain people. And get your life structure back. When you do this, you have a high chance of getting better of this type of OCD. A very high chance. And I want to give you hope. My cat is scratching. Always. He wants to go inside. When you do this, I will get him in and talk a little bit further. When you do this, you will have a very high chance of getting better. And I hope this will give you the motivation to really work at it. And I know it's hard to get out of bed and do things, but get into nature, get outside, and just trying to live your old life again, your healthy old life. Eat healthy also, have a good diet. And you really need to work at it. And the most important thing, this type or a chronic OCD in general can be cured overnight. It can be cured in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and OCD in general can't be cured also. So you can get to a place where you can't notice OCD in your life present anymore. But I think when you're severely struggling with sensorimotor OCD, I wasn't a fast learner, but I think it will take a full good year of really working at it to see significant improvement, and it took for me 2 years. But here I am, talking about my most feared scenario. I just ate breakfast. And I'm not scared of it anymore. And I'm now consider it heaven when I was struggling with this type of OCD. But you need to prepare, and it doesn't work for everybody the same, but when my sensorimotor OCD unlatched, you really need to prepare for that OCD will morph to another thing. So I developed after sensorimotor OCD, I developed harm, health, OCD, harm OCD, that kind of. It was really bad also. But you need to get to a place where you are more accepting, more flexible, where OCD can't latch anymore. And you can do this. And but this is something I really know a lot about. If you have any questions, please contact me. And you really need to see that you can get, this is something that is very good treatable. But you need to get the right information from someone who really lived it, because you can't learn this in a book, because it's so strange. So, thank you very much for the time. Please support the channel, give it a like, please. And please help me grow this. Please follow me also on Instagram, OCD Clarity, TikTok, OCD Clarity. And please download my OCD Clarity action plan. And thank you very much, and have a nice day.